This, in fact, was the prison. Now we can go down, shall we do? How many men over time, maybe a few women, dreaded this view? And as I walked down the stairs, drops of water passed by my face, and I noticed these stalactites or mites. And here we get an idea of the complexity and depth of not only the prison, but probably most of the rest of the fortress. Would a little spot like this have been a cell also, to be used in time of defense if necessary? There's a certain commonality of these sizes. Apparently so. It must have been cooled. That might be something good. Were these natural little knobs of the ground, or were these stalactites like from this one dropping down right onto that? That quite well could be. But these are supposed rags of an old prisoner. I'd be in a prison like this without thinking of the first portion of the Count of Monte Cristo. A bench and longer cell. These holes suggest that this was another floor here. Here you can see even more of those little stalactites formed from the water, pulling the mineral out of that stone. And what a longed for view, and long remembered perhaps, or not at all remembered, since escaping here would have been most dominant in the mind of those passing this vision. The tower may be another term for bastion, of which there were 4, as well as a tower. You can well imagine the emotions of people here, scrambling for safety and watching the Turks unload their heathen hordes. And if a man, you knew the slaughter would come. If a woman, you had to wonder what hell on earth you were going to be transported to as a slave, a concubine, a prostitute. And here's the inner courtyard. These circular areas, no doubt, for cannons. There's the port. That little valley almost looks like it was carved, doesn't it? So something decided to ignore the earlier sign and come up this way. Let's see if she can get in. Exactly what you'd expect to find. No telling what that little room was for, except for firing. Again, these ports assume that they've broken into the fort and you're in one of the last strongholds. A bunch of coat of arms, and I'm just going to focus on some of the detail in each one. Here are sheep with an arrow through it, and a rabbit sitting on top of a crown. Perhaps an eagle. Could that be the half moon of the Muslim? A bird. Bull is no surprise. Nor is the sun, really. Is this a very aggressive lion? And same at the bottom of that one. And here the griffin. And also a double griffin on the coat of arms. Presumably if you made it famous in battle, it was. The Croatia flag? I don't know. That may be the little church I visited. Can't tell from here. So now I'm at the highest point, either a tower or a bastion. This is the sharp-edged corner of the fortress, apparently. So I'll explore that. I now have a new apartment, it's called it. And it's same price as the dorm because they forgot to put me into a dorm today. They won't have anything tomorrow. Looks like a pretty good-sized fort. Since this is just an indentation. Another sharp-edged corner. We'll go in if we can. It's interesting, an anchor way up here. Obviously it's had other uses, still does. Here a small church, probably still used, but here the most interesting artifact I've seen on a fortress, particularly up on the top of a hill. I'm guessing that these devices came from the ship. I don't know if that's true or not. Probably be the only time that I will spend in my life on board ship, high on a hill. And sadly, half of my ship or more is missing. Another part of my ship, that's good news. Torpedoes. These are probably floating mines. There's some kind of multiple cannon, or don't know if these were fishing boats or life rafts or what. This is a pretty shallow draft. That looks like a lifeboat. Had a propeller on it. Another boat. The fort really isn't all that large. Can't see the other side from here to illustrate, but it's a relatively modest one. I'm guessing it might have been just a fishing boat, but with all the gear off it, I don't really know for sure what it was. Panning from the boat up here on the hill to the boats down below. A very wide beam. I wonder what it was for. My new little place. I spend one night in it and then have to find another spot for myself. Apartment now, because they made a mistake at the hostel and forgot to book me my bed, so they gave me this, which is costing them $350. At least that's what you wanted for tomorrow night, and that was too high for me. So I walked the streets looking for sobes and found very few that would respond to my knock. Finally I found one, and I got it for $300. People gave me some of their dinner tonight. My new sobe is at the end of this street and to the left and then to the right. That's my guidepost door, HH with 100 underneath. Spiffy little cart for the handicapped. There's the returning view of this park, if you will. I stay to the right. Quite naturally come right out into the market area here.